Darkness falls into roars. Old films, new blood. Hollow wars from the crypt. Tales arise. Yorkshire keep. Cursed night skies. Friday night, fears embrace. Eyes wide, arms race. Grotesque fast, shadows near. Appointed with fear, disappear. Specters haunt, screams at night. Vicious screams, endless fright. Legends told, torn to shreds. Your psyche, waking dead. Friday night, fears embrace. Eyes wide, arms race. Grotesque fast, shadows near. Appointed with fear. Disappear, disappear. Specters haunt, screams at night. Vicious screams, endless fright. Legends told. Friday night, fears embrace. Eyes wide, hearts race. Grotesque past, shadows near. Appointed with fear. Disappear, disappear. Fears embrace. Eyes wide, hearts race. Grotesque past, shadows near. Appointed with fear. Disappear, disappear. Disappear. Evil laughs, bloody might, old and new, pure terror sight, keeps review, truth unveils, endless dread, no veil. Friday night, fears embrace, eyes wide, arms race, grotesque past, shadows near, appointed with fear, disappear, disappear. Disappear. Chloe, let be God, but we with you. God.
Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode, 169? Hang on, my wire's fallen down. Episode 169 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear, and this week we're going to break down and review Devil from 2010, or 2010, whatever's your poison. From the mind of M Night Shyamalan. I'm a bit dark there, aren't I? So I'll put the brightness up a bit. There we go. Might be a bit too bright now, whatever. So that's what we're going to do. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube. Yes, we are. Let me double check. Yes. We're live on Rumble as well. Yes, we're live on Rumble as well. Right, cool. Not live on Twitch because I don't do Twitch anymore. Right. Alright, explore the description for links for stuff like merch and my books, which are under there, Amazon Kindle and paperback, and also links for my social medias and Spotify and all that, and my other channels and my other websites and all that sort of stuff, and links for where you can see this film. If you want to rent, you can rent or buy it like Amazon, YouTube, and there's links for other stuff as well. Right, anything else? Become a member and you get early access videos and exclusive videos and members only live streams on occasion and stuff like that. Right, and Josh Temple's here. He says, never fear, Mad is here, harpoon at the ready. I'm not sure how much that good will do in an elevator, because that's what this film's all about. We're not about love in an elevator, as Aerosmith might say. Have I got an Aerosmith patch on here? I think I have. It might be on my back. But it's about the devil in an elevator or a lift, whatever you want to call it. So it's Devil from 2010, as I said, from the mind of M Night Shyamalan. It was supposed to be the first in a trilogy of films called The Night Chronicles, and it even comes on at the beginning, says The Night Chronicles 1, and they never did the other two. Well, they kind of did the third one. The second one were going to be like 12 Angry Men type film about a jury going through their deliberations in the jury room and a supernatural force interfering in some way, which sounds interesting, but that never got made. And the third one was going to be a sequel to Unbreakable, what he had kicking around in his mind, which eventually kind of became Split, even though I still think Split were a film fine on its own, and they just tacked on that ending. Spoilers with Bruce Willis from Unbreakable, but anyway, whatever. So they never happened for some weird reason. I've no idea why it didn't happen, because this film had a budget of, what did it have? A budget of $10 million, and it made $63 million at the box office, so it did well, because the horror films generally do on low budgets. But anyway, never mind. So, as I said, story by M Night Shyamalan, but the screenplay was written by Brian Nelson. That name rings a bell. Where have I heard him from before? I'm going to look him up. I'm going to look at Brian Nelson, because it does ring a bell. There's that name. Filmography. 30 Days of Night. That's probably where I know him from. He's done other stuff as well. Directed by John Eric Dowdle, who also did the Poughkeepsie tapes. And did he do Quarantine as well? Let me check. I think he did Quarantine, which was a remake of Wreck, which were pretty good. I think he did that. Yes, he did. He did Quarantine as well. Oh, and also As Above, So Below. The Poughkeepsie tapes is a found footage film, which is really good. A bit disturbing, as found footage films often are. Quarantine, again, kind of found footage, but done in the form of like a live broadcast sort of thing. And As Above, and then did Devil, which was set in an elevator, not found footage, and then he did As Above, So Below, which is a really good film, in Paris, set in the Paris catacombs. Again, a found footage film. So yes, he did that, and he's done a bit of TV as well. So there we go. God bless him. And it stars people who I don't know. I know the faces of a lot of the actors. You think, I've seen him in something else before, but I don't know any of the names. Logan Marshall Green rings a bell. Oh, he was in 24. That's probably where I know him from. Oh, Prometheus. Yes, Prometheus. Oh, and Spider-Man Homecoming as well. So yes, but all the rest I don't know. The faces are familiar. but, I don't know where from. And Win Grace is here saying the D3ville. That would have been the third one. And the devil would have been just DEV and then two L's or two capital I's, probably. If they ever made them, but they didn't. Welcome, Win Grace, and welcome, Josh Temple. Right, so is that it? Shall we get on with it? Obviously, we're not going to watch the film. I'm going to go through it in a series of stills, try and learn what I've gleaned from the kind of paltry special features on this. Just a couple of little short behind the scenes, and no commentary or anything. Bit poo, but never mind. We've got good old IMDb trivia to back us up. What we're going to say, all right, we're not going to watch the film, we're going to go through it in a series of stills, may play the odd snippet, but whatever, we'll get through it. And right, so I shall pop myself down in the corner, just like her off Dirty Dancing. Is it that one? Yeah. Or is it that one? No, it is that one. I'm bloody hopeless. And we'll add it to the screen. Right, off we jolly well go. Hey, is it going to come on? There we go. Universal, but not my favourite one. Not my favourite Universal ident. This is the new one. Right, come on. There we go. Oh, yes, it comes up with the good old... Well, not the good old. The Night Chronicles, as it was supposed to be. But he changed his mind. And then it comes up... There we go. Number 1 of 1. But never mind. Anyway, so there we go. We've got a little a quote from Peter, chapter 5, verse 8. I presume that's correct. I didn't check. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. But he don't kind of do that in this, really. He's not walking about like a roaring lion. He's sneaking about. In disguise. But anyway, right, so here we go. Universal Pictures, blah, blah, blah. And then it says the Night Chronicles production. They only did one. And then for some reason, I don't really know why, everything's upside down for the credits. It's Philadelphia we're looking at, by the way. Because that's where M Night Shyamalan's from, isn't it? Philadelphia. So he always sets his films often in and around Philadelphia or in that general area. So there we go. And I don't know why it's upside down. Is it to symbolise hell? Underneath? I don't know. But it's kind of disorienting and kind of making me dizzy. But anyway. But we're going to zoom over the city and end up, there we go, going into a building through the ventilation shafts and down into an elevator shaft. And there we go. And then we're in the lobby of a man using a buffer. Buffing the floor. Oh, I've missed a bit. Hang on. You probably saw it in the trail at the beginning. There he is, checking his bits and bobs, getting the hair out. For some reason, puts it in his pocket. But as we're watching, he can't hear it. He's got his ear muffs on, you see. I don't know if they're playing music or if he's just deaf to everything. But then we see, boom, bang. Oh, no. Somebody's chucked themselves off the building. And then somehow he still doesn't notice, and nobody else seems to notice either, but this truck trundles off, because it's in a different location when we see it next. But anyway, he hasn't noticed. Somebody's thrown themselves to their doom. Then we cut to a diner somewhere. By the way, although it's set in Philadelphia, it was filmed mostly in Canada. Like I said, I think the only Philadelphia bits were those establishing shots, but everywhere else is in Toronto, in Canada. On Bay Street and Adelaide Street, that's where the exteriors of the office tower are. I don't know if there's any studio work. It doesn't say, so I guess it's all on location. Anyway. So, anyway, we see in, I don't know who this fella is. He's the main character, this chap here. I'll tell you his name. As usual, I have no idea the characters' names. In fact, they don't even have names, a lot of them. Detective Bowden, or Bowden. We'll say Bowden. There he's played by Chris Messina. And he's getting over a drinking problem, and this chap's his sponsor. Does it tell us who he is? I'm just looking. It doesn't say. I don't think. Unless it tells us his name, because I can't remember if it says his name. Well, I can't tell from the pictures either. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. And Justin's here. Yay! Hello, Justin. Welcome. We've only just begun, as Karen Carpenter might say. Anyway, so they're having breakfast. There we go. We're learning that he's got a drinking problem. Blah blah blah. And he's saying, "Can't we just have breakfast and stop talking about all this stuff?" He says, "Yeah. Well, I'm your sponsor. That's what I'm here for." But anyway, and it turns out, there we go. His entire family were killed. Well, his wife and son were killed by somebody that we don't know who. But it was 5 years earlier, and he hit the bottle. He almost drank himself. He booked himself into a hotel room and almost drank himself to death. So that's why he's got a sponsor now. Oh, blimey, and Justin's here, being super generous with a $5 super sticker. Thank you, Justin. That's amazing. Let's see what it is. It's I think it's a game controller jumping up and down. I don't know why StreamYard still doesn't display them. It should do. Should do everything for the bloody money the charge for the service. But anyway. Right, where were we? Talk about normal stuff. Yeah, but I'm responsive. Right, so anyway, he's off to work now because he's a copper. Here he is with that truck that has moved, apparently, and there's a body on top of it. Turns out it's some bloke. We never find out who it is, but it's some bloke who's holding a rosary. I'm saying we never find out. I don't think we do. We might do. I don't know. Oh, pardon me. So there we go. They're looking around at the buildings, and they see that they're only low-build, 2-storey buildings around, thinking, how's he made such damage to the top of this truck? Just jumping from a second story. So he's obviously come from a higher place. And they said there's no glass on the floor. So he goes looking around. Here's the coroner. There she is. Elsa suggested that he might have feelings for her. She might have feelings for him. So, but anyway. But we don't get to see any more of that in this film. But never mind. Just use your imagination. Right, so here we go. It's saying it's rolled here for some reason. It's bounced off this barrier, as you can see from the tyre marks there, and come from that building there. And we can see that the skies are starting to get all dark, and we keep hearing rumbles of thunder and stuff. There's an ominous omen, a harbinger, you might say. Anyway, the building in question, we're going to start meeting the rest of the cast now. This chap who's called the mechanic. They do have names that we'll find out later on. Maybe it tells us on Wikipedia. Let's have a look. Yes, the mechanic is Logan Marshall Green, Tony. I shouldn't really say. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm going to spoil it to hell. Innit? Tony Janikowski. And then this fella here, who's coming around the corner, is the salesman, played by Jeffrey Arend, Vince McCormick, and then we'll meet the others. Oh, hang on. Oh, steady. There he is, and they're all coming into this building, which is 333. Oh, I forgot. We get an address for it, and it tells us. It tells us the address. Go on, show us. Because I think it's relevant. Oh, maybe it tells us in a minute. It's 333 something or other. Does it tell us here? I can't remember the street name. No, it doesn't say. But 333, obviously, you double that, you get 666, don't you? Or if you triple it, you get 999, and turn it upside down, you get 666. You're going to end up with 666 anyway. Anywho, right, so where were we? That's the building number. Here's the old lady. She's going to end up in the elevator. There she is. Does she have a name? Can't remember. Jane Kowski. Similar sounding name to Tony's, isn't it? Gives it away in the cast list. does. It gives it away in the cast list, but I'm not saying that till we get there. But she's there. All right, and then the bloody skipping's too much. And there we go. This is Sarah Calloway. Somehow I remember her name without looking her up, but I don't know who played her. Sarah Caraway, not Calloway, so I got that wrong. Played by, how the hell do you pronounce that? Bohana Novakovic. Bojana Novakovic. Only she's got a different name now. She's Australian, by the way. Me to hell. There you go. Didn't know that. Are all the others American? I'm just checking now. I'm just curious. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, right. And only one Canadian. But anyway. So she's going to end up in the elevator as well. Turns out she's married to the chap that owns the security company. For whom he works. This is, I forgot his name already. Bucky Woodbine, who plays Ben Larson, who is the guard. He's telling her to sign in. You've got to sign in. Anyway, so they're all signing in. That's important for the plot later on. They've all signed in. Right, so he's got to go. Ben has got to go in the elevator. He's going to take the stairs, but the other fella says, take the elevator for God's sake. So, okie dokie. So he's got to go up to the 39th floor. So, anyway, they're waiting at an elevator, the others. There they are, but it's too full. So they're going to get the next one. There we go. And so they're all going to end up in this elevator together. There's 5 of them all together. Our main cast. Here we go. Right. Looking kind of shifty, isn't it? Right, so off they go. And notice, it's not telling us what floor they're on. That's deliberate, because apparently the elevator is it's malfunctioning. But he doesn't seem to have noticed. But you wouldn't, would you? Because I don't know, people au fait with how elevators work. But it's gone into inspection mode, apparently. And it just stops. Anyway, this is one of the security guards. This is another security guard. He's kind of the narrator as well. Because at the beginning, they were telling us all about what his mother says about the devil. And the devil takes human form and comes to claim souls and stuff like that. And it's him that's... He's into all that stuff. He realises what's going on before anybody else. But of course, nobody believes him. So anyway, there we go. We see that elevator 6 is in inspection mode. All the others have got floor numbers, look. And it just stops. That's what he's saying there. Hang on, there we go. A full house, 2 queens, 3 jacks is on about. The people in the elevator, 2 women, 3 men. This is the caretaker. Apparently he's the only one in the entire building. Huge high-rise office block. You'd think they'd have like an army of service engineers, wouldn't you? You'd think so, anyway. But apparently it's just him, Dwight. And he's seen to this broken window. Apparently nobody's realised that somebody's thrown themselves to their death. He's just come to fix a broken window. Yeah, and he's saying, I think somebody might have thrown themselves out of it. So obviously nobody noticed until the police arrived. But anyway, so he's got to go check on the elevator now. I'm guessing he'll just lock up that office so nobody else can fall out of that window. Anyway, so he's on his way. They're on the walkie-talkies. And there we see, look, Caraway Security. Anyway, so... And it turns out, by the way, all these people in this elevator, it's kind of... This would be a good... vehicle, so to speak, for like what they call them, like a portmanteau horror. It's a bit like, I'm trying to think of one now. Oh God, I'm blanking. And I love portmanteau horror films, anthology horror films, Tales from the Crypt, that sort of thing, where you get a collection of people and they've all done something evil, so they're all going to go to hell, basically. And it shows you their stories. Usually, people like actors like why Why am I blanking on the blue names? Anyway, whatever. You know what I mean. Like Peter Cushing and Tom Baker. You have people like that in it. And all that. But anyway, I'm waffling. Anyway, so the elevator's stopped. So they're wondering what's going on. He doesn't have his walkie-talkie with him, does Ben? That's why he's asking that. He says, I didn't think I'd need it, but you think he'd carry it everywhere, just in case. It's security, for crying out loud. But apparently he's new as well. He hasn't been there long. He's a temp. So, but as I said, they've all got secrets, or they've all done something wrong or something bad in their lives, which is why they're all here. Which is why I said it'd be a good example for a portmanteau horror film. But anyway, they're shouting at the screen. This is where we learn that the microphone in the camera's not working. So the security guards can't hear them. But they can hear the security guards. So the speakers are working in the elevator. The music's playing as well, quite loud. You know, the music. So have a listen, see if it's still playing.
Typical bullshit.
No, that's not it, is it? But it comes on this music in the elevator music. Not Girl from Ipanema, which I was surprised about. Anyway, so it's not going to take long for tempers to flare. We learn that Ben suffers from claustrophobia. So they're all falling out already. But they're saying, don't worry, help is on the way. Pardon me. Meanwhile, Dwight, he's gone up on the roof. He's looking down. I think he's looking down to see where somebody chucked themselves out of the building. Anyway. Right. So they're looking, seeing that there's the broken glass from the broken window. And, they're wondering what's going on. Some more broken glass falls down as they're there. So that's super dangerous, isn't it? But you think they'd have they'd put cones out to stop people walking around? Maybe they did. I don't know. And here we got here. What's his name? The security guard. Ramirez. He's the building security narrator. Here he is saying in his mother's story, innocent people always die. Got to mute it. And poor souls just trying to help out. Who didn't realise what they were dealing with, so they get caught in the crossfire as well. So it doesn't take kindly to those who stand in his way. So we know Dwight's going to cop for it at some point, isn't it? But not yet. So he's checking out all the stuff, says apparently everything's fine, they don't know why the elevator's stopped. We know it's the devil, isn't it? Anyway, the lights keep going out, so we're wondering what's going on. And then I think, is it now? No, it must be later. When the lights go off again, one of them gets injured. Sarah Caraway gets injured. But Ben's freaking out because his claustrophobia's acting up. So Tony, the mechanic, opens up the elevator. So it's not an enclosed space. It opens up the the hatch. There we go. So he has a look. There's a look up. There we go. And we hear the noise from above and the wind blowing and all that stuff. So that calms him down a bit. Apparently he's an ex-marine. I think he said he was a marine. So he's kind of take charge kind of guy. But he has the biggest secret of all in this film. Anyway, right. So he says he's going to have to go up to I think he tries to get to the elevator, through where it is. I think it's on something like the 22nd floor or something like that, or 21st floor, but he can't get to it. Meanwhile, the salesman, whose name I've forgotten already, God, I'm an idiot, Vince, is handing Jane Kowski his card. He sells mattresses, so he's taking the opportunity to do his spiel. But anyway, she doesn't take kindly to him. Anyway, so they all find him a bit creepy, by the way. They find Vince a bit creepy. He kind of does creepy. And I wonder if, looking at him, do you think M Night Shyamalan wrote his part for himself, because he does look a little bit like M Night Shyamalan, doesn't he? I think he does. So even if he were going to play that part, and thought, nah, I'll let somebody else do it, because he didn't direct it. By the way, M Night Shyamalan's reason for this series that never happened, or he wanted to write films that he'd want to direct himself, but would get somebody else to do it. But obviously, he really wanted to direct the third one, the sequel to Unbreakable. So he did. Anyway, you'd think the production company or the studio, or whatever, would be really angry with him, wouldn't you? You promised us a trilogy and you only give us one, and now we look like idiots. I thought they'd, said, get this trilogy made. You're under contract. Anyway, they didn't. Anyway, the lights keep going out. There we go, in the elevator, and they're wondering what's going on. I ain't gone to the roof yet. It's gone down to the bottom as Dwight, and there we see the buffers, in case the car drops. And you see that there's a raccoon in there, so he's chasing this raccoon about. There it is, look. And nearly gets squished by an elevator. Right, I think this is where Sarah gets hurt. There we go. The lights come back on. She's on the floor, and she's got some sort of injury on her back. I don't know if they say it's a bite, but it might be. I don't know, or if it's just a scratch or whatever. So, and the music's playing as well, so that's getting on their nerves. Let's have a listen. Oh, for Pete's sake. It is honest, I'm not kidding.
You all right?
There we go. That one. That's playing all the time, so that's where he's saying the kill switch. He's saying the music must be driving him mad. There's a kill switch right behind over there. He's got her blood on him, so they all think he's done it. But he says he hasn't. But she's saying, she fell into me. So they're all getting distrustful of one another now. So saying, search each other's pockets. And obviously nobody wants to be searched. But anyway. So they call the police. There we go. We've got to call the police. Meanwhile, storms are brewing. So anyway, while he's wondering what's happened with this person who's chucked themselves out of the building, he's talking to Elsa from forensics, and then they get Mary William 54, or whatever you American cops have for your numbers. There we go. Possible 240 at 333 Locust Street. That's it. I knew that was relevant. Locust, plague and all that stuff. So he's saying, well, I just happen to be there, so I will handle this, says officer, whatever his name is. So here they come. Oh, there we go. The footage there. He notices something when the camera glitches every now and again. So he's checking it back. Is Ramirez, and we see a weird face that just flashed up for a frame. And he was checking that, and he thinks it's the devil. And they're saying it's just a glitch. It's just a weird glitch. But anyway, so he's holding his cross. Look, oh. Anyway, so he suspects something supernatural's going on. They can't open the door. I don't. Is that a thing with elevators? I thought they could open really easily, at any time. But anyway. But not that one. Maybe it's just the power of the devil holding the doors closed. I don't know. But anyway, so that's it. They're all falling out. Police have arrived. Pardon me. It's telling everybody to calm down. There we go. We'll get you out there as soon as possible. Apparently the elevator company's gone bust. So I don't know. How does that work? I don't know. You think they'd have... another company that services the elevators, wouldn't you? You'd think so. So you'd think they'd have somebody that could come out, because elevators are pretty important in high-rise buildings, aren't they? But whatever. Anyway. And Ramirez is going on. Show him the face. And he said, what face? I don't worry, he's crazy. Don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, there we go. He's asking to see their driver's licenses, but there's resolution on the camera. They can't hold up the things close enough to the camera, and the camera's not got high enough resolution to see the names on them. So let's go and check the login, the sign-in book. So he's going to check that. There we are. So they've got a list of names from the signing book. But not all of them. Not all of them. Something happened here now. Hang on. I think the lights go off again. Is it now? Yes, the lights go off again. There we go. And then when they come back on, Vince is covered in... Oh, no, it's not that yet. She gets a vision, does Sarah, when the lights come back on, of everybody dead around her. There we go. Everybody's dead around her. But when the lights come back on, everybody's okay. But then suddenly the mirror smashes for some reason. Maybe the elevator moved. I can't remember. But the mirror smashes. The mirror cracked, you might say. But anyway. So they're kind of freaking out in there. Like I say, it's all going wrong. Because something else is happening, he's saying. It's happened now, like that. The lights have gone out. And let's go back again. Tell you. And after the mirror smashes, there we go, we see that Vince has got a big shard of mirror in his neck. So he dies. So Vince is the first to go. So we know he's not the devil. One of them is the devil, by the way. So one of them's dead. So good job the police are there. So he's telling me to calm down and don't go near him and don't touch anything. It's a crime scene now. So anyway. So they're wondering what to do. Ramirez knows it's the devil, but they're not listening to him. The lights keep going off. This is where we're learning about some of the people in there. We learned that Ben, the security guard, there we go, beat a guy into a coma with a baseball bat. So I don't know if he's done time or whatever, but he's a security guard now. So they're all wondering, which one of them is the murderer. It's got all like Agatha Christie now, hasn't it? Anyway, we've got the fire department. Pardon me, are arriving because they're gonna get to them. But that's what he's saying. They're out of business. The elevator company. That makes no sense whatsoever. But anyway, so he said that they don't look like murderers. They're all shook up and scared. One of them would be acting real calm, but they're not. Anyway, he's holding up. There were an envelope sticking out of Vince's jacket, and they could just make out Vince McCormack, and they can just make out the text on it. So there we go. What is it? Better Business Bureau. We learned that they've got an office in that building, so I was going to go check up with them. Is Detective Bowden. So where we learn is I think he said he was a Marine. Does it say there? You see something. There we go. Spent some time in Afghanistan. So he's been in the forces, the military. See things you wish you hadn't. They're checking out that window. I had a note that the fella left before he jumped to his doom. I can hear the devil's footsteps draw near, he wrote. So I don't know we don't really know what happened then. So anyway. Right, so he's going to try and climb out and try to get help, is Tony. But she starts screaming to Sarah, he's trying to escape. And they drag him back in. And trying to help. Right, so they've gone up to see this company that Vince worked for. And he's telling them that Vince were a bit of a, not a very nice person. Apparently before he worked there, he ran a Ponzi scheme and loads of people lost lots of money, and one guy even killed himself over it. So there's a lot of people might want to see Vince dead. So there we go. The guy was a real scumbag. But anyway, there we go. One guy even killed himself over it. So it looks like Vince has got his comeuppance. Anyway, so they're checking each other, they're frisking each other for weapons and stuff. And anyway, we see the face again, or maybe it's from earlier. He's showing Detective Bowden the face, so his curiosity is piqued. But he opens up his wallet and he shows Ramirez. There we go. A little car wash token, but on the back it says, "I'm so sorry," and that's what the hit and run driver left at the scene of the accident where his wife and son were killed. 5 years earlier. He's sorry, as though that makes it okay. So that's okay because whoever did it is sorry. So he's saying, we don't need a devil. People can do bad things without the devil being involved. That's what he's saying. Anyway, but he does see something on the tape, on the film, does Bowden in a bit. Anyway, meanwhile, Dwight is lowering himself down on a rather rickety-looking thingamabob harness. Anyway, so meanwhile, the old woman's going to spray Ben with her mace, which doesn't work because it's out of date. And anyway, so as the tempers are still flaring, but he's going to fall now. Is Dwight, because they keep trying to talk to him on the walkie-talkie, but it's on his belt and he can't get to it, so he's spinning around and he's going to fall, and he does. Look, the thing starts to break. The what they call carabiner. What the hell they call that thing? That carabiner. I don't know what they call it. It's broken anyway, so he's going to fall to his death. So as they're arguing, there's going to be a almighty bang. Oh, there we go. We hear it now. Hang on. We missed it, haven't we? It's here. Look. She tried to bang as Dwight hits the top of the elevator. And then they can hear what Dwight's walkie-talkie. That's what they're seeing there. Dwight, where are you? And they hear something. Dwight's apparently he's impaled on something on top of the elevator. And then his blood starts seeping through till they start freaking out a bit. Even more. But here we go. All the roads closed off now. And the fire department are going to start digging through the wall when they get there. He's gone up to see his Detective Bowden. He says Dwight's on top of the elevator, and he can't tell because it's quite a long way down. He says I can't tell if he's alive or dead. Anyway, right. So they're looking back on the footage from earlier in the foyer. So we see that she's signed a name, Sarah Carraway. I said we know the security guard's Benjamin Larson. Then we got another one that looks Jane Kowski. They think that's the older woman. But the only one that they don't know is Tony, who is called Tony Jane Kowski. Clue? Maybe it is. But anyway. Right, so they're going to start smashing through the wall. Why don't they just go to an elevator shaft, closer, a floor above, and look down? I don't know. They're smashing through the wall. Anyway, so they're watching. Here we go. They're watching the old woman. There she is, and we see that she steals somebody's wallet or purse or whatever. There we go. You got to be kidding me! Did she just steal that lady's wallet? Do women have wallets? I thought women had purses. I know you call them different things. We call them women in England. Women have purses with their money in that they keep in a handbag. But if you have a handbag in America is a purse, isn't it? But whatever, I don't know. We both speak English, but in a different way. But so we see that they're all naughty people. She's some sort of kleptomaniac, it seems. Anyway, right, is this where he's going to get a glimpse of something now? He gets like a glimpse that she had of everybody dead in the elevator, but nobody's looking. Oh, it might be in a bit. Oh, right, they're waiting to see his arrival, Tony. They don't know his name yet. And see, he's got a satchel there, but he hasn't got it in the elevator, and I don't think it's ever brought up again. Oh, a pocketbook. Is that what you call a purse? Or is that a handbag? I don't know. A pocketbook is a book that you keep in your pocket, maybe with addresses in or phone numbers. That'd be a pocketbook, wouldn't it? We call it an address book. Anyway. Anywho. There's a Jasper Carrot. Jasper Carrot is a comedian over here, or used to be. Still knocking about, I think. But in the 70s and 80s, he was a super popular comedian. And he had a really good routine about his when he went to America and learning all about, our wrong words. And he went, I once said to a policeman, I've had my handbag nicked. They didn't know what he was talking about. But anyway, so they pulled a gun on him. It's all about zits, is his comedy thing. Look it up. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. It's probably on YouTube. Just look up Jasper Carrot. It's really funny. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yes, he's got this this satchel with him, or bag, or whatever. We don't know what's happened to it. And I don't think we ever find out what's happened to it. I don't think we do, anyway. Maybe we do, and I just missed it. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. It could be the case. But anyway, so is he going to see now? Is he? But everybody's not looking. Everybody looks away. Is it now? Look, the lights are flickering again. They're all freaking out. Is it going to come back on? It goes dark for a long time, doesn't it? There we go. Turn on the light, she says. And I think this might be where I think Ben used his there we go. He lit a match. This way we get a glimpse of the devil. There. Let's go back again. There we go. I'm not sure what's going on there, to be honest, but we get a glimpse of, presumably, the devil, but with like it seems to be like a young woman's body, doesn't it? Or it seems to be. Can't really tell. But nobody else saw it. Anyway, so she's freaking out. Turn on the lights. Anyway, so I wonder what's going on. And he's going to see something any minute when they're all the others are not looking at the screen. Anyway, he's saying, we're the audience. The devil wants to show off to all the people watching about what he can do. Anyway, this woman arrives and they won't let her in, and we see she's got tattoos and stuff, so maybe she's naughty, I don't know, but she looks really familiar. I've seen her in something else. Who is she? Let's have a look. Yes, it's Zoe Palmer. Over in Dark Matter, she played the android woman in Dark Matter, didn't she? She's been in loads of other stuff as well, but that sticks out. There she is, Zoe Palmer. I was kind of in love with her in Dark Matter. I thought she was amazing. Anyway. She can't get in, they won't let her in, but she gets in later and she just walks in and everything's fine. So I don't know why they've turned her away. Yes, the lights have gone off again and the old woman's dead. After the lights flicker again, so let's go back again because it's missed it all out. There we go. Hang on, have we? Oh, there we go. She's hanging after the lights come back on. The old woman's hanging somehow from some sort of cord. I don't know how that's happened, but so that's two of them down, and then she arrives, and so they take her down and lie her on the floor. And we see that she's all these pocket books she's stolen, Wingrave. Wallets and purses and all that stuff. It's a light, isn't it? She hanged herself on. So anyway, so that's another one. So they're wondering what's going on. Oh, they do find his bag. What's in his bag? Let's have a look. What's in his bag? Tools, because he's a mechanic. There we go. Maybe we're applying for a job. I don't know. I don't remember watching this, but I probably turned away. Could those be used to rig an elevator? Oh, that's what they're saying, maybe. But so he's a suspect. But anyway, there we go. She's introducing now. Sarah kind of likes Ben because she doesn't trust Tony. He says, "I'm Ben," and Tony notices that Ben's claustrophobia seems to have gone. So they're going to start fighting. There we go. They're fighting now. And he tells them to calm down, and they've all got to put their hands on the wall. I think, yes, there we go. So, anyway, so we find out that we don't know anything about Tony. Ben beat a fella into a coma. The old woman seems to be some sort of kleptomaniac. And Vince ran a Ponzi scheme and ripped off loads of people, and one fella topped himself. Turns out Sarah has loads of been arrested loads of times for blackmailing rich married men, and then she married this Caraway chap, and now she's like going to divorce him and get all the money and stuff like that. That's what she put in the building for. She was going to go see a lawyer about it. But anyway, so this is where he's in the foyer. They've got everybody out from the building to gather in the foyer. And I was looking for the lawyer. There we go. Did you have a meeting with Sarah Caraway? So he won't tell the policeman, exactly what his client was seeing him about. But he says, I'm a what does he say? Hang on. That he's an basically an accountant, an accounts lawyer, financial lawyer, or something like that. So there we go. Just so you know, my specialty, not speciality. Forensic accounting's my specialty. So that's what he says. Right. So meanwhile, the other security fella, Ramirez's partner, has gone up here to check on stuff. I don't know what, but he's been turning wheels and stuff. I don't know, but he's checking on stuff. And then we see there's some sort of electrical cable with water on the ground. So now he's going to get electrocuted. Anyway, here we go. And he gets electrocuted, but finds his way back up to the lobby. I keep saying foyer, but you call them lobby, don't you? They're posh. Finds his way back up to the lobby. They're cutting through, look. But they need a bigger saw. Why don't they just go to another... I don't... But anyway. So he comes staggering out. There's him. There we see he's all burnt and electrocuted. He's Lustig, by the way. Building security, played by Matt Craven, a Canadian actor. There we go. Anyway, sorry, I was just checking on some of the other people. Make sure we're still going while we're at it. Yes, we are. Always got to keep clicking on the live thing. Always, for some reason, on YouTube and Rumble, the live stream always starts lagging for some reason. I've got to click on live. But anyway, that's first world problems. Anyway, there you go. Medic! So, thankfully there are medics aplenty. I think he passes away. They're still got their hands on the wall. She takes her arms down because she says they're aching. So he's telling her to put them back up. But they're going to start... kicking off again, but then I think we're gonna get another lights flickering, and Josh Temple says he's still here lurking in the shadows just like the devil in this film. It's Josh that's behind it all. It is. Anyway, the lights are gonna flicker again in a minute, and somebody else is gonna cop for it. What's this going to say? What's he going to say now? What's happening? It's talking about the Kensington sniper. That's what they're saying. We've got a Kensington sniper all over again. Best place to hunt from with a harpoon. The Kensington sniper was a fella that he killed several people to because he wanted to kill his ex-wife or his wife or something like that, but he killed loads of other people as well to like cover his tracks. But anyway, so that's what he's on about there. And then the guard is gonna kill her. Need to get into that elevator right now. But then we get another. There we go. The lights go out again. And there we go. And when they come back on, we see that Ben. No, not yet. In a minute. Here we go. Oh, yes, they're holding the phones up. He says, hold your phones up, because it's 2010, by the way. So we ain't got... When were smartphones invented? These amazing screens. So they've got, like, flip phones and stuff. They're just using the screen to light up. Why didn't they think of that earlier? I don't know. But something happens and the phones are just snatched out of their hands, look like that, as if by magic. And when the lights come back on, there we go, we see that Ben is dead. In a minute, when they look round. Have they not noticed yet? Hang on. We've skipped over this bloody thing. When the lights come back on. There we go. Ben's had his head twisted round. Like, crikey. So, well, Ben's got for it. Really badly. So he's had his head twisted round. So, obviously, thinking, well, it can't be her that's done that. But, you know, is it easy to do that? I don't know. I mean, you see it in films all the time, but in real life, is it easy? I don't know. But anyway, they're going to start having a fight now. They start picking up pieces of glass, pointing them at one another. But she ends up with a cutthroat, it seems. He tells him, you know, put your pieces of glass down. We're nearly through. We're going to save you. You've got to take responsibility. And he tells them his story about how he turned to drink. And so we're going to get a flashback here, I think, maybe, of how his wife and son died. Or maybe that might be later. No, it's later. So, there we go. They put the things on, but the lights start flickering again. And when they come back up, she's on the floor with a neck wound, I do believe. I'm going to show it. There she is. Look, but she's not dead yet. So he's like saying, "Oh no!" So he's trying to help her. He says, "I didn't do this. It wasn't me." Anyway, she comes. He says she arrives. She's just said, "I know somebody in the elevator." It says Tony Jankowski. And then they look at the list. Say, hang on, Jankowski. That was the old woman. So apparently they don't know the name of the old woman. But anyway. Tony's fiance, he had a job interview. There you go, that's what he was there for. So who's the old woman? And there we go, we see the old woman gets up behind him and says, she's the devil, is the old woman, because she's got black eyes, look. She's got doll's eyes. Then there we go now, we're going to get the flashback now. So he's going to basically do his confession now. Because the devil really wants Tony's soul, because he's the one that killed innocent people. He was the one that killed Detective Bowden's family. So here we go. He was trying to get beers that had spilled in his car that night 5 years ago. Hang on. There we go. And as he got back up, crashed into that car and killed Bowden's wife and son, and he just drove off and left that note saying he was so sorry. But he's owning up to it now. Here he is, and he's saying, you know, take me, and all that. It's my fault. And then the elevator starts falling again, but because he's confessed to something. The devil can't take his soul, because confession's good for the soul, isn't it? Josh says, it's always old people or kids, they're just creepy. Yes. I'm creepy. I'm an old person with a kid's mind. So I'm creepy. Double creepy. So I think she couldn't take him because she says, you know, you were the one I really wanted. So I'm guessing she's got all the other souls. Sarah's, because Sarah dies, she like goes, so I guess she's got all the others because they've all done bad things. But he confessed, didn't he? And so she can't take him. There you go. I think she says it here, maybe. Is it? You were the one I wanted. Something like that, she says. Come on, say it. There we go. I really wanted you, she says. I think she's got kind of a creepy, devilly voice, I think. Let's check. I bet she ain't now, but I seem to remember that.
I really wanted you.
Yeah. Tell that. Why do they always have demons and devil? You know, the devil and demons always have that weird double voice. They're like a Goa'uld from Stargate. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, so they're about to get in, and then all the lights go out. Look, everything goes dark, and obviously when they open up the elevator, she's gone. Where's the old woman? They don't know where she's got to. So take all the bodies out, and obviously Tony has been arrested. There he is. He says, I'll take him in. I'm thinking, what's going to happen now? Trapped between worlds or floors. Anyway, so he says, I'll take him in. So we're thinking, oh, hang on. So he's going to do something. So he's driving. You'd think they'd take somebody with him, wouldn't you? You'd think another officer would be there because it's a highly charged situation, isn't it? But no. He's driving him in. And he says, I always wondered, telling him it was my family that you killed. And I've always wondered what I'd do these 5 years. I've always wondered what I'd do if I ever came across you. What I'd say to you, what I'd do to you. And he just says, I forgive you. There you go. And that's how it ends. Oh, aye. And then we cut back to Ramirez is talking about his mother. Don't worry, she'd say. If the devil is real, then God must be real too. And that's pretty much the end of the film. So we presume that Tony goes to jail. That's it. It's not a long film. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. Yeah, an hour and 20 minutes. And we've not a lot happens, but it is fascinating. I really like it. That's why the voice is changing back and forth. Oh, trapped between worlds. That's why the voice is changing. All right, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I thought it was just, maybe because it's just kind of both male and female, kind of a hermaphroditic voice, isn't it? So that's what they usually mix a male and female voice, don't they, to give it that changes of timbre. But anyway. But yeah, so that's it. That's the end of The Night Chronicles Part 1. Devil. But I really like it. I think it's a really good film. Like I say, it's kind of reminds me a little bit of Phone Booth. That I've got his bloody name now. In the directed Batman Forever and loads of other cool films. Lost Boys. No, I'm blanking. Anyway, kind of reminds me a bit of that. But yeah, it's a good film. I really, really enjoy it. I think it's really good. Good acting from everybody because it's all in an enclosed space. And I think they could have spread it out a bit. They should have added little bits showing their story. Yes, that fella. Yes, him with the shoes. I'm blanking on it. I genuinely am. I'm thinking like Joel Shoemaker. Schumacher. Jerry whatever. Anyway. But yeah, I think they could have expanded it a bit, made it a little bit longer, just giving us little flashbacks of what they've got up to, instead of just telling us, show us. That would have made it a little bit longer, wouldn't it? And then padded it out a bit, made it a bit more of an anthology film. But is it Joel Schumacher? It didn't sound right in my mouth. but it's still good nonetheless. I'd like to see the second one as well. Did it have a name? I can't remember. I've got an article here about Night Chronicles. If it ever loads up, come on, bloody hell. When you're ready. Oh, there we go. I've got this article here from Film Stories talking about the Night Chronicles and what was the second one going to be called? I've seen it somewhere. 12 Strangers / Reincarnate. But I think 12 Strangers would have been a better name. That's set in a jury room. And what would it be? 12 Strangers was a supernatural legal thriller about a jury who are haunted by a supernatural force while deliberating over a murder trial. That would have been cool, because it'd be like 12 Angry Men, but with ghosts or demons or whatever, another devil maybe. Don't know. Did I get it? But yeah, that would have been interesting. But anyway, we never got that. But we kind of got the third one in the form of Split, which were alright. I didn't mind it. Glass as well we had after that, didn't we? Which wasn't as good as Split, but it's also kind of like that Twilight Zone that Twilighty, what they call that Twilighty show about that zone. Yeah, so there we go. Glass was trash. Just we didn't like. I went to the cinema to see that. Went to the pictures to see trash. Yeah, Glass. Because my son really likes Split. I don't think he's seen Unbreakable. I don't think he has. But he really likes Split for some reason. I don't know why. And he wanted to go see Glass. So we went to see it and he was really disappointed. I thought, I didn't hate it, but, it wasn't that good, was it? But anyway. 5 characters in search on an exit. Essentially, yes, essentially. Angry Berry. It let him down, did Glass. It could have been better, couldn't it? I don't know. M Night Shyamalan's kind of lost his mojo, hasn't he? Occasionally he does a good one, but he's not the man he used to be. He started off too high, didn't he? Essentially. I know Sixth Sense wasn't his first film. I can't remember what his first film was. Was it like Soul Man or something? I don't know. But Sixth Sense was like his first big hit, wasn't it? And then he's kind of gone downhill ever since, hasn't he? But anyway. But occasionally he does a decent one. Like I said, The Visit were okay. But like I said, the ending were a bit naff. But anyway. And that recent one I didn't mind. The one with his daughter in doing the singing. It was just a vehicle for his daughter's singing career. But the film, The Trap or something, that were alright. Says that last 15 minutes ruined the Unbreakable trilogy. It were a bit poor, I must admit. Anywho, let's just make sure there isn't an end credit thing. I don't think there is. I didn't hang about. No, there isn't. No, done. PG-13. Right, so there we go. So that's the end of go away. That's the end of the Devil. Decent flick, like I say. Give it a watch. The Cabin one was okay. Oh, yes, that one with Dave Bautista in. That were all right, and that were kind of setting up as though it could carry on, wasn't it? Like an end of the world thing. I forgot what it was called now. Knock at the Cabin. That one. That were all right. Yeah, I didn't mind that. Didn't mind that one. Yeah. So like I say, it does okay ones, and there's rubbish ones in between. But I suppose nobody's perfect, have they? But I'm kind of an M Night fan, particularly his early stuff. That Sixth Sense is one of my favourite films of all time. Signs, I love that one because it's about UFOs and aliens. Even if it is, doesn't make a huge amount of sense, but still a fun film. And Unbreakable's good. And Split were okay. I just thought that were okay. And The Village. Again, I didn't love it, but I thought, whatever. What else has he done? I'm trying to think what else he's done. What were that other ones? Lady in the Water. I didn't mind that at all. But anyway. Always has crap endings. Yeah, pretty much. Sixth Sense and Signs. Because he kind of felt that he had to do twist endings, didn't he? But anyway. And there we go. Because he's a Pennsylvania guy, yes. I did mention that at the beginning. Because the Signs were in Bucks County, wasn't it? That's in Pennsylvania. Tries to be too smart. I think he does. And I think he thinks he's really clever. But not like Nolan. What's his first name now? I've forgotten. Christopher Nolan. Not like Christopher Nolan, who thinks he's a genius and just like showing off. Oh, look how clever I am with my films. Look at my Interstellar film, which was just shit. God, I bloody hate that film. But I did like The Prestige. But anyway, I'm waffling now. I'm padding out this stream because we've done the film in like an hour. So I'm padding out the stream. Anyway, sod it. We'll leave it there. But yes, M Night Shyamalan does try to be a bit smart. But go and check out John Eric Dowdall's other films. Like I said, we went through them earlier on. He did the Poughkeepsie tapes, which is a a found footage film. It's quite disturbing. It's about a serial killer. And then he did Quarantine, which we have done on An Appointment with Fear, which was that American remake of Wreck. And pretty good. Justin likes Interstellar. I didn't like it. I didn't like Interstellar. Didn't like it. I thought it was pretentious crap. I bloody hated it. Did my head in. But anyway. I did like Inception, though. Where were we? Oh, right. John Eric Dowdle's other films. Poughkeepsie Tapes, Quarantine, As Above, So Below, and I forgot what else he did. What else has he done? This one, and there's another one, and I can't remember what. What's the other one he's done? Filmography. No Escape. That's the other one from 2015. I don't know if I've seen that one. Owen Wilson. It rings a bell. Pierce Brosnan. Rings a bell. But I'm not seeing it. But yeah, he's a pretty talented director. But he hasn't done anything for a while, so I hope he's alright. Prestige is a classic, but overrated a tad. I think it's pretty good, this Prestige. And Wyngrace agrees. But I think you prefer The Illusionist, says Wyngrace. I did like The Illusionist, probably because it's got a certain young woman in. Whose name I've forgotten. Jessica Biel. It's got Jessica Biel in it, hasn't it? The Illusionist. I liked them both. No, I think Prestige is better than The Illusionist. If Prestige had Jessica Biel in it, it'd be perfect. Right, so we're going to leave it there. So what's coming up next? What day are we on? Friday, because it's thingy. Monday. Hang on, where are we? Oh. I put my coat on because it's blooming cold. On Monday, for Magnificent Mondays next week, we're doing The Hunt for Red October. Let them sing. We're doing that. Cool film. So that's what we're doing on Monday. Next Wednesday, for Watch Party Wednesday, we're going to watch Jack the Giant Killer from 1962. So that's all the YouTube link. You can watch along with it. Justin says Tenet is meh, not seen it. Dunkirk was great. I didn't like Dunkirk. Didn't like it at all. I thought it was sterile. I didn't like it. Watch Cockleshell Heroes instead. Oppenheimer I've not seen. And Memento, yes, Memento's good, and so is Insomnia. Insomnia's good as well. And the Odyssey, we'll have to wait and see about the Odyssey. But some odd casting choices in that, isn't there? But whatever. Anyway, where were we? Next Friday. I don't know what I'm doing next Friday. I've done a post in the community section. So if you want to, asking for any ideas for next week's Friday Night Appointment with Fear. So if there's anything you want me to review, I'll try and get hold of it if I've not got it already. Put it in that post in the community section, and we'll see what we can do. Because the week after, it's a Friday the 13th again. So we'll be doing Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. So that's a week on Friday. Right. So we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted for another week. I don't know. Has my microphone been okay? I've had to switch back over to a USB socket. Because the other one's been acting up a bit. So anyway, you have to like Dunkirk as a member of the Allies. I just didn't like the film. I didn't think it was a very good film. It looked nice, but there are better war films. Because I do like a good war film. That 1917 were good. That was a good film. There is an odd background whistle. Oh, right. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But didn't notice it until the movie ended. Oh, right. I'll have to have a listen afterwards. I can't hear anything. It could be me moving about. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see. we'll see. I'll have a listen. Justin says, I cried in Dunkirk. I didn't like it. Oh yes, I heard that whistle then. But I don't know where it's coming from. Yeah, I can hear it. How can you hear it? I wonder if it's... Let me unplug this. Unplug that, see if that stops it. No, it's still going. I can still hear it. So it's not that. Right, I'll plug that back in. Can't find it. Where are you? Just bear with me. There we go. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what that whistle is. Oh, it says I don't hear it now. I could hear like a faint whistle. I think it's just, fans and stuff somewhere, but it's really quiet. So I don't. Maybe it wasn't that we were hearing. Anyway, so I'm going to go now. Right, we'll leave it there. Now it's back. Oh, right. Maybe it is that then. I don't know. Justin's going to pray for us all. Thank you. Anyway, right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other. Don't have nightmares. And until next time, I'll say the...